Okay, this is the last game. Guess this guy. I'm gonna play more games, but that is absolutely awful. Oh boy. What's supposed to be the best? Like castles? Queen f5, I think. This guy's playing fast, which is annoying. Should take on d4, right? That's the trick. Queen e6. Yeah, he takes and queen a4. What is this I'm supposed to do here? e6. This is not supposed to be that bad for black, but probably gonna lose it all. Whatever. a6. Rook d1. Queen e5 takes. Rook d1, bishop d6. Should be something for white, but it's not. It's not immediately obvious. And besides, I got a threat of after bishop d6 to take on h2, which would be mate in 2. Sort of overruling other possible considerations. So this is the point. c6 is going to take. Yeah, probably, but whatever. Okay, so he takes. I was thinking f5. Then king e7 comes, and I could run away. Possibly. I'm gonna try. I think probably rook d1 was strong instead of taking on c6. Then king e7, it obviously doesn't have to take. And if king c7, there was then bishop c6, bc, and then queen a6. So after bishop c6, I would have had to play knight f6, trying to hang on kind of grimly. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Here is, of course, got a bunch of compensation, even if he plays it slowly, but I feel like I'm not getting mated. Rook d7, king f6, queen knight e5, king g6. The king runs, and I feel for now that I'm okay. Queen b7, then he takes, then I go king f7, I think. Next, knight f6, bishop goes somewhere. Well, now that he forced me to e7. Knight f6 comes, and then I will be more or less mobilized. Okay, now I think I gotta go queen e2. Now that he is trying to make life more difficult for me. So go queen e2. Go knight h6. Knight f6 runs into knight d6. As long as I got the knight on h6 instead, then I got the square on f6 for the king. a4, I think. Yeah, also rook d8 is very tempting now. I think a4 was just a blunder. Just gonna take on c4. Absolutely no worries there. Rook d5 looks good. Queen b4, and this game is going to be over very, very soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. Trying to be too clever. Oh, I'm short of time. This is actually going to be very interesting. Whether I can pull this off. Okay, let me try this, and then f4 and play for mate. I really haven't got time for anything else. f5. I just hope. Check. Another check. Oh. That was unfortunate. Oh, there's the queen. There's the knight. And there's mates. Cool.
You can bring your queen, take this pawn with check. It looks like black is the one for choice. But
Oh,
bam! Yeah, your queen
fine.
lose.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
seeing it. A Wonder Liang is a beast at Bughouse. He sees tactics like this. He plays it. Rook
Look
takes
at
e5
Magnus.
is check. The queen is losing. Magnus
my
knows.
goodness.
He's busted. He's completely busted here.
Magnus about to go down.
To their best in the final match, a Wonder Liang has bishop b5 check. Bring them all to the party. And he's going to beat Magnus Carlsen in this game.
He went bishop
And Magnus-
b3 though.
Magnus sort of will be
Bishop
praying
b5.
for counterplay there, but he finds the check.
Wow.
Magnus might just throw in the towel right now.
Wow.
I saw the Charlotte Chess Center chatting. Everyone is about to lose their channel points. And you see Magnus, he is resigned. He's mentally out of it. And he just knows that this game is over. Wonder Liang, a hero for the Cobras.
And I mean, shoot, opening choice for Magnus there. Frenches are like this, but sometimes they're very strong. Rook takes the A. Oh my goodness. Still fighting, not giving up.
You know what you can do is you can take this rook, play queen f8 check, and queen takes f7 check. Because the bishop will have to take, and your queen is left unguarded behind it.
That's beautiful.
Daniel Nerditsky, that is something that the world struggles with, beating Danya. And we see a wonder. He's doing it. He calculated this to the end. That's what he was doing. He was making sure that this is easy for white.
Yeah, he didn't want to, give Magnus any type of chances. Like, it's Magnus Carlsen. Don't give him no chances. He takes on f7, finds the move, take, and that's done.
Okay, so what's he going to do next?
Annoying, though, right? This is what you like. This is the part there. Look at that.
Oh, wait.
Look at that.
Wait, the eval bar suddenly went to even.
Oh,
What's
man.
happening?
Oh, man, bro, that's crazy. Chess is, this is ridiculous. How is this a draw? You gotta be kidding me.
The rook is being kicked out.
He's kicked out.
No way. Magnus could win this game.
He could. It's very possible. Well, rook b5. He has to go. I think rook b. Oh, maybe not. Okay, check.
Where's he going with the rook?
That's what I thought.
Oh, you know what? He might just run this way, but then
back around.
But the bishop will lock it in. Once you get this pawn here, the bishop comes to b1, and the rook is locked on a1.
Yep. Oh, it's locked in there. He misses it.
Okay, wait. He goes up. He decides to go up here, which means the rook can stay behind the pawn forever. That's good news for a wonder.
And we can push the f and g is our goal, and try to walk those boys through. Get the king active too as well. Magnus shaking his head here. He doesn't know. He's like, I probably had a draw, right? 11 seconds, so it's hard to do that in 11 seconds.
But what if Magnus ends up pushing his pawn and bring his king to b6? You will kick this rook away, because if it goes up, you go back. And if it goes up, you go back. We might see a repetition of the sort there.
You might be right there, actually. And then my king is too far away. You can actually walk your king up to try to take the c3 pawn while distracting the rook and by pushing the a pawn to keep that under control. So if we get to take the c pawn, then the b pawn gets rolling, and who's winning?
And that's the great thing about bishops, right? It protects a4, also covers the promotion square. So f4 played, Magnus has to play b5. If g5, we'll see a swap and a king going right to b6, try to kick this rook away. Magnus Carlsen might hold this game. I really think that it's kind of the trajectory is more towards a Magnus draw than a wonder win.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. It's like Magnus effect, the Magnus draw. What is going on? Right, Maxi, how does he do it? Chess is too hard, Greg. Exactly.
I don't know how Magnus does it. It looked completely lost. It was completely lost. And now he was king b7. And if rook a5, king b7, then we might see a draw by repetition.
Jeez.
Okay, so
whoa. He's going for it. This is what, this is a race, right?
Right.
This is a huge race.
You were saying, what if that king just goes for c3?
Right. And the bishop, he's going to go back. But if these pawns were connected, this would probably be winning for white, I think. But here, we can walk the king up, take the pawn, sack the bishop for that pawn. You got to walk the king all the way up. Oh, I can't cross. Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's the thing. King c5, rook a1.
I can't cross.
No, the king can't cross. But is he trying to go this way now?
Oh, he could be going that way. Yeah, he could run up that way. King c5, yeah.
Oh, because of rook a1, now king e4. He's crossing a bit slower, but he's making sure his king gets in over here.
What about, man?
No wonder down to 7 seconds. He might lose this game.
Get out of here. Oh, hold on to your hats, chat.
Oh my gosh! Here comes the king. Oh, it's
I'm-
winning for black.
I'm out.
How does Magnus
Man, I'm
Carlsen
done.
do this?
I'm out.
Just take it. He just takes this pawn. The bishop, the long range piece, covers g8, protects a2. The black king slides in, and Magnus Carlsen is winning in this position. He's actually just going to use the second pawn. James Canty is nowhere to be seen, but a victory for Magnus. A W will appear. And look at Wonder.
Oh
He
man,
can't
you
keep
see
beside
it? You
himself.
see it? I mean, he probably said some adult language just now. Yeah,
Oh, you
that's
got to
some
feel
adult
for him.
language. Oh man.
Oh, you had. A Wonder Liang could have had 4 out of 4 today, but look at Magnus.
Get Magnus
He
with a
shakes
little
his head.
smirk.
Yeah, he's like, I got away with this one.
I got away with it, you know. I mean, let me sip out the chest bra mug here. Yeah, that was losing. Yeah.
Okay, let's serve Niall with h4 as well. You know, it worked against Opiarian, so why not again? No bullshit b6 response from Niall, of course. So now I'm just playing a Queen's Gambit, or in this case a Tarsh defense, where h4 is, I mean, it's not like clear that it's useful, but it's also not clear that it's bad. Okay. Should I go a3 first? No, let's go knight f3. Now we're basically just playing a Tarrasch with an extra h4, and yeah, I don't know if that's amazing, but it's usually like a decent attacking move in the Queen's Gambit. And now the problem is that I cannot get. I don't have time for Queen e2, so I should probably try and trade then. Queen c7. I mean, that's logical with my pawn on h4 is trying to attack. I don't know. It feels like the pawn on h4 is kind of useful. Knight g5 maybe, knight e4 to come. Yeah, this is solid. This is not easy to crack, actually. You can go g4, but that's a little bit too much, I think. But otherwise, I'm probably struggling to equalize here, which is a bit unfortunate. Okay, let's go this. Also, yeah, I don't have a plan here. Yeah, he could have also gone 95 there, which I think was fairly strong. Okay, now I'm gonna try and bail out small. Okay, I'm in full bailout mode. Be very happy to make a draw at this point. But I'm happy to get the queens off. But I'm sort of stuck with the wrong bishop here, because my pawns are on light squares, and the queen side has the same color as my bishop, so that restricts mine, and they could be targets for his bishop. I think now he's trying to decide whether to trade the knight for my bishop or not. Okay, he did, which I don't think that was correct. Yeah, this was almost definitely wrong. And he also missed this e4, and if rook f2, then rook c7. Or I'm almost certain that he missed this. Oh, I also had rook before. Yeah. Sort of trying to win now, maybe. Rook d7 back. Wow, that's a major concession. Okay. Trying to see if I can do anything. e5. Probably rook d2 is good. But doesn't go for it. Nah, this was just stupid. Yeah, this was really dumb. I have no idea why I decided to do this. I mean, what the fuck was I thinking? I was thinking like check and rook d7, bishop d5, take f7, but I just missed king g8 back, and I'm just worse. What am I doing? I should still be fine though, or sort of fine. Maybe I'm better. He's really short of moves now. I take with the knight. I think that was panic. Huh, this is still not clear. Yeah, my pawns are just running now. Oh, not really. What a mess again. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
But he needs to keep that pressure on Magnus's clock as well.
Yeah, the problem is for black is you really would like to take this g2 pawn for the h4 pawn, like release your own rook. That would be good. You want connected pass pawns that are unopposed, but Magnus is not allowing that. He's giving the king a bunch of checks. You could run forward, but then the rook will continue to follow the king, push it to the other side of the board, and then start going after the black pawns. So this is exactly what Magnus is doing. Hikaru has to step back and look at this back and forth shuffling pieces. The h4 pawn remains a target. The black rook has to stay passively defending rather than going after white's pawns.
Yeah, but there maybe black's plan should have been to get the rook to the second rank, to tie down that white king to the g-pawn. You mentioned, Robert, that you have to go for that trade. You have to get that remaining white pawn on g2 in order to get your central pawns rolling. And now he's kind of tied up his own rook, Hikaru. I don't like where the black rook is placed. It's in front of its own pawns, blocking your only plan of advancing them. And now, really classy from Magnus, he just cuts off the black king. The black king now can never step down the board to the 6th rank and has to start marching over to harass that rook. But again, Magnus is going to start attacking some pawns, just keeping those black pieces honest, keeping the black rook or king tied down. Maybe Magnus is going to get the draw of the bar back closer towards the center, but okay, now decision time for Hikaru. Do you surrender your central pawns and go for white's pawns? No, you have to keep your pawns intact in the middle just to keep some chances alive.
An important theoretical endgame is if white loses both pawns for the e5 pawn, that is a theoretical draw. I know from experience, I had that position against Vishwanath and Anand. I had the 2 pawns. He held the draw. And so it's something that both players know. And that's why Hikaru is clinging on to this e-pawn. He pushes it forward. He connects it with his other pawn. And that will create threats if the black king gets active. That black king, we're on the 4th or 5th rank up to g5. That would be good news. But the king is cut off. Magnus's rook is in the perfect position.
Yeah, if that king was better placed, that black king, I think he'd be winning, Hikaru. But he's going for it now. He's pushing his pawns without his king. Ooh, this is either very good or it will blow the winning chances. I do fear for Hikaru that actually now the black rook is stuck defending its own pawns. You need to connect the king with your pieces, with the rest of your army. Magnus, can he hold this one with less than 10 seconds? He's doing all the right things so far.
The most important thing for Magnus is to make sure that black's king doesn't advance, and that's what he does. He does keep the king blocked, but the bar does not approve of that.
And I'm wondering why not? Does black have something really strong? The winning plan is not going to be obvious for any human here, let alone these players with only a few seconds left on their clock. And I'm expecting Hikaru to move his rook away at some point. You need to activate those black pawns. At the moment, everything's a bit stuck. Black rook needs to move.
Magnus Carlsen doesn't believe in fortresses. He famously said that, but I do think that we could see a fortress here. I know the eval bar looks like it's great for black, but sometimes you can't actually break through. But look, the rook retreats. That means the black king can step forward. That is not good news for Magnus. And watch out for Hikaru to bring his king up and then push his f4 pawn to f3. Just jettison that pawn so his king can enter the position and go for checkmating ideas.
Yeah, note how Hikaru just from time to time he repeats the position just to put the pressure back on Magnus. Just to say, okay, I'm in control. We're definitely not going for a draw, but I'm just going to tease you with that. And look at this. Suddenly the white rook moves.
What's happening?
Can the black rook make headway against the lone white king? Maybe you needed to check from the bottom of the board and then go behind the white king.
Is Hikaru winning?
It feels like he should be. The black king is so active now. We said as long as the black king joins the action, you're winning. But what's the killer plan?
And Hikaru stops. He takes a pause. He knows that there's something in the position. He's trying to calculate, and that is the right thing to do. He knows that he's made maximum progress, but where is the killer blow here?
He's going to bring his king all the way in at some point. His rook is going to be released from the f-file somewhere along the 2nd rank, and the black king is a stake for a d4, d3 into e2, and whoa, he plays f3 right away. And was that a good choice?
I'm surprised he committed with so little time on the clock. He could have repeated and gone back to this. Robert, earlier you mentioned that f-pawn and h-pawn together is a draw, but e-pawn and h-pawn is winning because they're so far apart. White's defenses will be stretched. Can the black king come in now? Is it still winning?
This is so close. It does look like, because every time you do move your rook away from here, white king steps forward and everything is under control. He's got to get the king into the attack to help that e-pawn advance further. I'm expecting a king advance right now, but watch out for a rook check that might pick up the h-pawn.
Yeah, you have to be careful where you put the black king right now. You don't want to allow any nasty checks from the white rook behind. Okay, he retreats his rook. Really clever. Now look at the white king. It's cut off. It can never move towards that black central pawn because the black rook cuts along the f-file, and Hikaru bobs his head. He thinks he's winning. It does look very strong. The king is coming now.
Wait, but he's going to check. How is he going to run away? Because king goes to the c-file, the rook just slides over, and you can't push the e-pawn. And now you have more distance from the king. So the king goes to d3. Whoa. You see the bar go back to equal. So
he reacts Hikaru as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought he still had great winning chance, but he allows the king forward, but then the rook comes to g3 with check. So that's why Magnus slides backwards, and his king is no longer cut off. That means that Magnus Carlsen should be able to hold.
Yeah, Hikaru, maybe there was a more accurate way of doing it. It wasn't easy, even if it was winning, and suddenly Magnus's rook is active. Suddenly you can start giving checks from the side.
And now he wants to come with the king to the other side. He wants to create an opposition and try and attack white's king, create a mating net. But Magnus slides all the way back with the rook to give backward checks to black's king. And this just looks like with the black rook stuck here, there will be no saving the black king from checks anymore. We're going to see 100 checks, but the result will be the same. This will end in a draw.
Wow, nowhere safe to hide. If the black rook could move away, the black king could hide in front of its own pawns, or his own h-pawn, but now there's nowhere safe. If you have to start retreating the black king towards the white rook, then suddenly your pawns might drop off. And look at Hikaru.
He's so frustrated right now.
And it's the wrong pawn, the h-pawn. So if the king goes back, the white king steps forward, the rook will take this pawn on e3, and the king is inside the square. When king and pawning games, you try to chase down the pawn, you make a square to the promotion point. And here, it's okay, h3, the pawn goes forward.
Still alive.
But no more progress. I think black is completely frozen now.
But what happens once the black king starts running over? Still nowhere to hide, I guess. And, okay, we're past the 100 move mark. This has been a marathon game. Can Hikaru squeeze out a win?
What a fight.
Magnus thinks he's drawing. He leant back there looking very happy with himself. But still, chances alive. I agree with Robert. I think it's the wrong pawn. The black rook is just on the worst possible square, tied down defending both of them. The black rook is passive. You need active pieces to win these types of endgames. Oh, what a miracle this is if Magnus holds.
And it's just amazing the defense that he's shown, and we can see Hikaru that he's giving up on this. He knows that there's no way to improve this position further. The black's rook is tied down to defending that e3 pawn and the h3 pawn. Magnus continues to attack the black king with checks. There's no place to hide, and we see Hikaru leaning back. He knows he's done everything, but it's not been enough.
So close, but no cigar. Down under 10 seconds now, Hikaru. He looks like he's about to give up his winning attempts, about to agree that draw. Just all the checks. Look at that black king. So sad, has to retreat the whole way back. And this pattern's just going to continue. The black king's going to chase the white rook, but to no avail. The white rook is just going to move, hide, check, and cause all the problems in the world.
And at this point, Hikaru might just be going for the longest game in Champions Chess Tour history because we're at move 116, it seems, and it's going to keep going because Hikaru is just going to hope for a Magnus Carlsen mistake. But the issue for Hikaru, his rook is completely frozen in place. If it ever leaves the third rank, the pawns are going to fall off, and the king, it wants to help out in protecting the pawns, but the rook keeps checking. So as long as the king is far away from the rook keeps checking it, and the king has nowhere to hide.
And we see that happening, and now he just shifts back because there's nothing to be done, and it doesn't matter where the king goes. When the king gets closer to the pawns, Magnus starts checking it, driving it away.
Yeah, no progress has been made over the last 20 moves now. Hikaru, wow, can he recover? Yeah, can he recover from this heartbreak? And lots of cheerleaders we see for Hikaru on Twitter, and yeah, he's put up such a fight. I love everything Hikaru's done this game. Just
is that a Hikachu?
Hikachu.
Hikaru or a Hikachu?
Yeah. It's just so close. This is the most frustrating thing in chess. You do everything right. Hikaru's literally not put a foot wrong this game, but breaking the defenses of the world number one, that's another question. That's another level.
But there is something to take away from it. The fact that Hikaru was able to create this chance, this opportunity with the black pieces. David, earlier you were talking about going into the last round on his terms, and that's what he's managed to create. He's made it clear that Magnus needs to be careful. There we have it.
Okay, let me try e4. c5. Okay, b4. The accelerated wing gambit. He's playing quickly, which suggests to me he knows something about the line, which I don't, to any particular degree anyway. But I don't know, doesn't look too bad for me. If he's forced to go knight b8, then I have a nice lead in development. I should only make sure that I don't reply to b3 check with bishop d2, because then he would have b2. But now it feels like I'm in business, sort of. a3. I have ideas of knight to b3. So knight c5. That tickles my spidey sense, as they... Is that what they say? I think that's what they say. This, I feel, should not be good. He's just too much time development-wise to be moving his pieces more than once. So I feel like now I should have a huge initiative. I've given up a clear exchange, but it's not so obvious how he's going to develop his pieces, seeing as e6 can be met in several ways. I have d6, but it's also very tempting just to go queen to b3. The point now is that I'm a complete and utter idiot. I thought bishop c5 would be met by queen b5, knight d7, and then knight e5, but his queen protects that square from a1, so that would have been embarrassing. And also this is not so clear. Okay, I may have a tactical possibility here though. My idea now is that he doesn't really have time for bishop f3 since yeah, this is what I was hoping was going to work. So what I was going to say was that after bishop b2 he doesn't have time for bishop f3 since rook a1 catches the queen, and in case of bishop c5, bishop f6, gf, knight e4 would be kind of nasty. Although again I'm blundering rook g8 here, so who knows what's gonna happen, but I feel like I still have some kind of initiative. And now the only question is whether queen d7 followed by either de6 or knight e6 works. My intuition tells me that it should be winning. I don't have a choice. I have to play queen e7, queen d7 at least. But I don't know. It's hard to calculate. At the very least I have queen d5, so I'm just going to do that. The double threat is knight d7 and queen takes h5, so this ensures that I'm winning, but there may have been something better. But anyway, in order to win the game I have to speed up at some point, so I just decided that I didn't have time to yap and to try and find a first win. It felt like should probably have been winning on the previous move by playing queen d7 followed by knight e6, but I couldn't find it after bishop h5, so that's why I didn't go for that. Okay, so I should just take on b7, c5, knight e6, but once again I have to speed up. Yeah, rook c8, now I win by force, or I win the exchange. Now it should be quite easy. I have lots of easy primos. F5 hangs now. And he might as well resign at this point. I have way too much time. And there goes his rook as well. Okay, good game.